So today's topic is sleeper density. Firstly, we'll be discussing about the importance of sleeper density. Why we are actually having this being in our cross section of railway. So if I draw the cross section of a railway track, then it would be something like if these are the sleepers, these are the rails over which the wheels of the wagon are to be moved. And it is the wheel flange. Similarly on this sort of rail. This is sort of ballast. Each and every component of this track actually have its own importance. The major importance of the ballast is to provide the elasticity to the track, as well as to make the water being coming over this track to be drained off quickly, such that the stability of the railway track is serviceable throughout its life. So these are sleepers. The topic is sleeper density. Firstly, the importance. Firstly, the importance of sleeper density. The requirement of ideal railway track is to have the proper gauge, or I must say the uniform gauge. Gauge is what? Gauge is the difference, or gauge is the distance between the inner faces of rails. If these are the inner faces of rail, then this distance is referred as gauge G, which actually varies for the type of track. If it is a broad gauge track, then the value of G is 1.676 meters. If it would have been a meter gauge track, then the value is 1 meters. If it had been a narrow gauge track, then the value is 0.761 meters. Or the second scenario is 0.610. The two types of narrow gauges are there. One referred as feeder gauge, other by the narrow gauge. So it is basically the difference between the inner faces of the rails. This is gauge. So the first thing about the ideal railway track is to have proper or I must say the uniform gauge throughout the track section, throughout the track. So this importance or this function or this requirement of ideal railway track is being fulfilled by these sleepers, and for that purpose we need to provide the required number of sleepers in certain distance of the track. So if I define this, or I must say there can be a lot of factors which are actually making the ideal permanent way of the railway track. So to fulfill this sort of function, we need to provide the sleeper density. And sleeper density is in itself defined as the number of sleepers which are actually being casted in a unit length of track. So if I am putting this track, and if this is of unit kilometer, say the distance is what? It is unit kilometers, and if it would have been the rails over this, then the sleepers being provided over this railway track to make the gauge throughout the track uniform. The problem if the gauge is not uniform is well known to each and everyone who can visualize the thing is like if the gauge is non-uniform, then it is going to make the wear and tear of the wheels flange, as well as it can make the destability. It can deteriorate the stability of the railway track in terms of its functioning throughout its service life. So these number of sleepers in a certain, or I must say 1 kilometer or a unit distance of track is referred as what sleeper density is. It is designated as the designation of sleeper density. Sleeper density is designated as like M plus X. So what here is M and what here is N. M is the length of rail section. M is what? M is the length of rail section. M is length of rail section, which varies with the type of gauge. Means if it would have been a broad gauge, then the value for M is like 12.8. 12.8 meters. If it would have been a meter gauge, then the value is like 11.89 meters. Since in our country the two types of gauges are being of prime importance, and these are covering almost all the railway tracks inside India, else some high elevation areas like Himachal Pradesh or Jammu and Kashmir, where the narrow gauge is being put, whose value is something around 9. So most of the thing we need to make it clear is about this broad gauge, then secondly about this meter gauge. So M is what? M is the length of the rail section. It is what? 12.8 meters for broad gauge and 11.89 meters for the meter gauge. Now what is this X? X is a constant. X is a constant. I must say X is a value which actually depend on the position or location of rails being casted. So firstly I will write this. What is this X actually is? X is what? X is a constant which varies from 3 to 7. Which varies from 3 to 7 depending upon the location of sleepers being laid out. Depending upon the location of sleepers being laid. Sleepers being laid. I have to clear this last point. Location of sleepers being laid. Like if it would have been a straight track, if I am making it clear right here, the location type, then the first location type can be what? On straight tracks. On straight tracks. So while the rail or the wagon or the complete system is moving over the straight track, then the number of sleepers. This example is actually denoting what? This is denoting the case when the sleepers are being laid on a straight track. Second case can be what? If it would have been laid out on the curved track. On curved tracks, or I must say on curves. When the curves are being catered through, then the location or the fashion of laying out these sleepers and the number of sleepers being laid out is also varying. So the reason why this number is varying is well known to us with one type of force which actually is encountered while the trains are moving over the curves. That force is referred as what? Centrifugal force. Centrifugal force. That force is what? That is centrifugal force. So whenever a body is moving over the curve, that is going to experience a centrifugal force which is acting outwards. Which is acting like if the train is moving over this, then it will be encountering a force, centrifugal force, which actually given by mv square upon r outwards. So to make the track much more stable when it is moving over the curves, we need actually to provide large number of sleepers or a higher number of sleepers per unit length of rail as compared to the straight track. For example, if this value 3 denotes the constant value x in case of straight track, then the value is something around 6 or 7. Higher values will be there when the track is moving or when the vehicle is moving over the curved tracks. So this number actually varies depending upon what? The location of sleepers being laid. So these two sort of different locations are being provided to you. Else if the stability of the ground soil is not of that much order, then there is also to make that track stable or to make that track resilient enough so as not to make it enlarged when that vehicle is moving over that locomotive, we need to provide that different number of sleepers. So this was actually what about the sleeper density. Repeating, actually this is starting with that. This denotes the sleepers, starting with the function. What function is just catering to, the designation of this value. And if I would take an example of how to calculate this sleeper density. So this is a numerical, I must say. Starting with the numerical. For example, let us take an example like a locomotive or certain railway wagons are being moving over a broad gauge track. So means the broad gauge is fixed. The vehicle is moving over the broad gauge, and for broad gauge you know the value of m. The value of m is what? 12.89 meters. 12.8 meters. 12.80 meters. and if it is going to be provided with a slipper density having the designation of M plus 4. Slipper density designation of M plus 4. This is what slipper density. So I think this is clear to you now that what actually slipper density means. M plus 4 is what? It is the number of sleepers being casted in that unit kilometer or unit distance length of the road. And so the requirement is the number of sleepers. The requirement or the demand of the question part is calculate the number of sleepers. To be laid, number of sleepers to be laid in some 750 meters of railway track. In some 750 meters of railway track. So the approach will be what? Approach will be like you can first start with the number of sleepers in unit length of rail. This is unit length of rail for broad gauge. This is unit length of rail for broad gauge. So number of sleepers in unit length of broad gauge rail is number of sleepers in one rail length. I must say what? The one rail length. Number of sleepers in one rail length will be how much? It will be like M plus X, means 12.8 plus X is given as what? This is value as X4. 12.8 plus 4 is equals to 16.8 sleepers. So sleepers cannot be in fractions, so this will be what? 17. So in one length of broad gauge rail, we require 17 in number of sleepers. Number of rails required in 750 meters. Second approach will be what? Number of rails. Number of rails in 750 meters. In 750 meters of track, number of rails required. How many number of rails required? So it can be calculated like 750 divided by 12.8. So this will give you what? This will give you a number, say P. This P is what? It is the number of rails in given stretch of railway track. And if you got the number of rails and you have got initially the number of sleepers in one rail length. In one rail, the number of sleepers is 17. In this much of rails, number of sleepers, you can make it very clear by multiplying the two. And this should also be in integers, because if it comes like 13.8 rails. So 0.8 rails means what? It is not like that. It must be an integer. So rounded off to the coming integer, the highest integer. Then getting the value of P, the third and last step will be what? Required number of sleepers. Third point is required number of sleepers given by 17 into P. So by providing this much number of sleepers, you will be in a condition to make that track having uniform gauge throughout. So starting again with the topic, making it importance clear, that sleeper density is mainly is mainly to have the proper uniform gauge throughout the track. The gauge must not vary. That is going to fix, or that is going to hold the sleepers required in that certain railway track. So how to cater it, how to make the numerical clear, what locations we actually going to cater, can be straight, can be curved, and how this value M plus X is varying from 3 to 7 is being made clear to you. This was all about this topic, sleeper density.